Fox 9 Morning News starts now.
I'll give you another live look at how conditions are looking. But now it's time to have some fun. It's time to possibly take cover because M.A. Roscoe has the hottest toys.
Well, you could cut through that traffic with this little foam saber, Kelsey, but I prefer the heavy artillery myself.
Uh-oh. Here we go. It has begun.
I'm working here. I can't even get this thing.
I should have known better.
I can't even get this thing to fire, but did you see the look on her face? Priceless. Wait till I figure out how to work this thing. We're back with Toy Guy coming up. Dang it. It's jammed.
Take cover. Take cover. Duck. Hit the floor.
Morning to you and welcome to the Fox 9 Morning News. Great to have you with us. I'm Tom Butler.
And I'm Alex Kendall. It is 7:32 on this Tuesday morning, and there's a little chaos here in the studio. We nearly got an eye out, poked out. I did, because I'm an aim.
Porch. Firing again.
M.A. Roscoe.
That Mary Alice. Sure, you might be doing your toy shopping for the kiddos this time of year, but do you remember your favorite childhood toys?
Whether it was a hula hoop, maybe a big wheel, or a hungry hippo, you can rediscover it in a new book called Toy Time. And Toy Time looks at the golden age of toys from the early 1960s to the 1980s. The author Chris Byrne joins M.A. Roscoe in studio this morning.
They're just right there.
You are so lucky. You are so lucky that I jammed the Nerf.
The gun jam.
You are no
artillery.
G.I. Jane.
We'll get it working by the next segment. Chris is here to talk about his new book, which talks about classic toys that you might have grown up with. We are all abuzz over the clackers. We'll get to those. Okay. But also toys that are kind of based on classic play that will be hot this season.
Right, they don't go away. Classic play, children don't change that much. Classic stuffed animals, these are the world's softest. They are really gushy, and they're really reasonable. These big ones are only $19.99 and just really, really soft and cuddly. The kind of thing that will be an heirloom 30 years down the road. Arts and crafts remains really strong, obviously.
Okay, I saw you working on this for quite a while.
This is not so much, but this is the marker maker from Crayola. You actually make your own markers. You mix the ink according to the colors, put them in here. You can seal it up here, and you get your own marker, and it's got the primary colors, so you can make all kinds of different markers with it, any kind of color you want, which is terrific. This is from Crayola. It's about $32.
Because drawing will never, ever go out of style.
Never, ever, ever. And classic games. This is the Shipwreck Beach Treasure Hunt game from the Wonder Forge. They make great games for preschoolers. It's a matching game, and when you match things, you can use this to read what it is. You take your sword, you've hidden these around the house, and you go, "Ah!" and you run around, and you pick them up.
That's funny, because I like to go, "Arr!"
Yeah, but my sword's working. And, but the big deal is exclusives. This is exclusively available at Walmart. So if you're looking for it, and you can see it on our site at timetoplaymag.com as well.
Okay, let's talk about classic toys, because you've just written a book called Toy Time, and you crowdsourced the items that you would talk about.
What people remembered, we have over 175,000 Facebook fans, and we asked them and our Twitter followers, what do you remember from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and into the 80s? And it was just really a lot of fun doing it, finding out a lot of great stuff about it. My favorite has to be the $6 Million Man, because he looks so creepy, but he had the bionic eye.
You could actually look
through him, which is really, really kind of fun.
Now, everybody in the studio remembers these. Now, they may have had different names. Click-clacks, clackers, Tom, I believe.
Which I've never heard before.
Maybe it's like a duck,
Gray duck.
or duck, gray duck thing. It's a regional thing. So you could just annoy your parents or your siblings forever and possibly hit them in the head with these hard balls.
And like the yo-yo and the boomerang, these started as a weapon. So you could kill small birds with it for dinner. I don't know.
So just think what you could do to your system.
Absolutely.
But there was an epidemic of parents taking them away from their kids.
And there are grown-ups who tell me now my parents still won't own up to the fact that they took them away. So it's really fun.
Really cool stories in this book, like the fact that Twister never really caught on. In fact, it almost went deep six
until... They canceled the orders until Johnny Carson and Ava Gabor played it on their show. And 30 years later, I recreated that with Regis Philbin and Dolly Parton on the 30th anniversary
Did you
of
really?
Twister. Yeah, absolutely.
And then Barbie, you trace Barbie's career trajectory
Right.
that she's had so many different careers.
Well, in 1959, what could women do? They could be a bride or a fashion model. Well, now she's run for president, she's been an astronaut, she's had over 130 careers, and she's still, the thing is, the billions of Barbies done, every little girl brings her to life in a different way.
Sure. We still have ours with their terrible tresses that we cut
You
off.
cut off the hair and you drew on them with ink, and they still look like princesses.
Well, thanks so much for joining us for classic toys of then and now. And when we come back in the next hour, some hot toys for the kids of today that you're going to want to stock up on before they're gone. So stick around for that.
My
Okay.
Knickerbockers, Click-Clacks were taken away from me for allegedly hitting my sister in the head with them.
Well, the funny thing is,
On
I had
purpose,
those.
allegedly.
Mine were click-clacks, and my parents didn't seem to notice or care. I
Survival.
always thought they never
sense.
took those away from me.
Everybody's on their own.
All right, thank you guys.